Hi guys, I'm live. I'd like to do some bed rant. I want to talk about a subject that I touch on sometimes, but haven't totally done a video just on this. I want to talk about my idea of friendship. I just haven't done a video just on that. I want to do a video on friendship, how I feel about it. The matter has shown me the negative side of friendship. Someone can actually be your friend and then just not give a heck, just not have time for you, not give you time, not care about you, not even be there, just disappear and do his own thing. I can't fault him for doing him, but that has taught me something about friendship, right? I don't put that much stake in friendship because of him. And I don't know, maybe I didn't really before that either, but I gave it a chance because he was my friend or seemed to be my friend. Now that he's not, I'm actually more negative about friendship than I was before I met him, I think. But fortunately I have friends now in town, like Jack and Jake and my fans, and I have Britt. They remind me that friendship is still a thing. And that's cool. I'm glad that I have those friends to remind me of that, or keep me thinking that. If I didn't have Britt, Jake, and Jack, that would be another story, I guess, maybe too. But and then what was I going to say? And then guys and girls being friends. I actually think there's more to that than there is single, guy and guy friends and girl friends. It's just from what I see. The only friends I really, really, really am going to really connect with in the end are women, females. Guys eventually drop out, or they compete with you, or they become assholes, or they show their true self and they never were your friend, I'm not saying that of all guys. I'm not saying that of all my guys, I'm not saying that absolutely, but the matter has showed me that that's a general trend, especially with guys. I don't know. I'm not a girl, so I can't tell about girl to girlfriends as much. The matter would blab a lot about not doing cockfests, which means not, comparing each other. But it was like he protested too much on that because now he's the one that thinks he's always right. So he's the biggest cock now. But he was always telling me against cockfesting, comparing, and not literally, but figuratively, comparing who's right, who's wrong, who's good, who's not, who's smart, who's not. And nobody, to the moderator, nobody's smarter than him. Nobody's more right than him, and nobody's more important to himself than him. And I feel like smart and wise that I learned that from him, but at the same time, I feel dumb and stupid that I fell for him being my friend in the first place. But that's how I learned that that's the truth about guys. And so I feel smart in the long run. I feel smart that I gave it a shot so I could see it's fake. And, but that doesn't mean all guys are that way. It doesn't mean all friendships are going to always be that way. It's just a trend, I believe, in general about guy friends. Guys don't want to. And I, and I have friends that are great. They're fans, and my friends now that really are honestly good friends. But as a trend, guys just want to whip it out and compare. And I'm not really interested in that because at that point they're not friends, they're competitors. If I want to compete, I'll let you know. But that's a different thing than trying out being your friend. But being my friend so you get to compete with me is switch and bait, or bait and switch, which is very devious and evil, moderator. Be my friend so you get in close to me and then do the cockfesting, and so that I you feel like you've roped me in, so now I have no choice. Well, screw you. You know, you should have just whipped it out in the first place. Not literally, but you guys, I think you guys know what I mean. If you're gonna do that, just start off that way. Lead with that. Don't be my fucking friend and then do that at the end. And yet that was actually good because it taught me that that's the base nature of people, these guys. Anyway, and about enough of that exact thing, but I'm still on the topic of friendships and just what's going on with me maybe. And as far as David, he is CBI. I'm not stupid, David. His phone number is area code 916, which is Sacramento, which is headquarters of the CBI. He this is what he did. He ropes me in by saying he's going to make a porn star out of me, but then he says, do I do fringe stuff like gay, under 18, and midgets? I say no. He goes, well, Mr. Wiseman, I suggest you do that. That's baiting me. And he says, and not only that, but post your response on your YouTube channel so our managers, our executives can see it. In other words, he wanted to trap me into saying yes to that, post it on my YouTube, and then bust me. First of all, I don't do gay. I don't do under 18. I'm not gay, first of all, and under 18 is not legal, so I don't do that. And I don't really like midgets. So nice try, CBI guy, but big fail. I kept his number so I know who he is for later reference in case I need to know, but he's blocked, reported, and the conversation is deleted. But I know who he is, so I didn't delete the number, then you lose it unless you go back to the call record and re-enter it. I don't want to lose his number. I want to know who he is in case it matters to me later. Prove that he, that this guy did this to me or something. At least I have his number. I have your number, David, but you're blocked. You can't call me. You tried to call me a couple hours ago, but whatever. That's not important right now. It got blocked, of course. But very devious people in the world, eh? Like they're there to protect people and to uphold the law, but they want you to break the law so they can bust you. You guys get that, right? You see the hypocrisy in that and the twisted evilness of that? If you work for the law, you want people to break the law so you can bust them, but you're supposed to prevent people from breaking the law, but that goes against everything that makes you survive as your law man, because you want them to break the law so you can bust them, but then don't break the law. Well, nice try getting me to, I already said that. Nice try, David, CBI guy. Should have, well, I guess obviously now the move is don't use your actual phone, dude, with the area code that I'm going to Google and find out where you're from. And I'm not stupid. But now I know you'll know that. So now I don't care what area code it is. I'm going to not trust the next guy. He'll be your friend in the CBI, or he'll be some other thing. And with a different area code, maybe, because isn't that smart of you? You know what? Okay, so that's deviousness, even in supposedly respectable professions such as law enforcement. So there's that. But I respect people in authority. I do. And I do. But I also call things as I see them, and that's how I see this interaction with this dude. First, he lied by personifying himself as a foreign guy. So already he's on the wrong side of my track. Justified to himself, but he lied to me from the get-go, so screw you. Anyway. So friendships are tricky for me. And right now I'm alone in my house. Honestly, nobody comes by and just visits me. Nobody just comes by and says, hey, Jimmie, want to chat, want to go have a drink. Oh, the party. Yes. Jack took me to the party. That was the one time. And then I have a friend named Megan. She already dumped me a long time ago by just saying, I'm not going to call you again. You blew it with me, basically. But then she calls me again, texts me again lately, after like a year of not texting me, like she said she never would. But now she texts me and says, I saw you walking, but you didn't see me. So how's it going? And then I blew it with her again. She said, I'll call you at 10. And then she just blew me off again. And now it's silence again. You know, I get that women are great. She's, you know, pretty. She's pretty and all that. But entitlement much? Like I'm just a rag doll, right? I'm just somebody to just fuck with. Oh yeah, he might be okay about it now, so I'll call him again or I'll text him again just to rope him in, and then I'll dump him again. And that'll really knock him on his ass again. Really? Okay. What's next? Nothing, I guess. I guess now you're out of my life again. Okay, good to see it. See you in a year. LOL, right? And actually, ironically, my wife is actually not doing too bad with me as a friend right now. She's at least talking nice to me, and we're not romantic, of course, and we're not even living together because she's, you know, not in the house right now. She's been pretty nice to me. It's pretty cool. We might work this out after all. Haters, darn it. No, we might just keep our house after all. I'm not putting words in her mouth. I don't know. I haven't heard that word from her. But my feeling is she's getting healthier and therefore maybe thinking a little clearer, and realizes that I think I just have a feeling she realizes that we're best if we just keep the house and stay together, keep the house. You know, I mean, does she really want the price of putting me out on the lurch is to put herself out in the lurch. She won't own a home either. So yeah, screw me, but then screw herself. And how much can she really trust her family to help her? Absolutely, if she really doesn't own a home. Oh, what's she gonna do? Sleep on her daughter's couch all the time? I mean, come on. I think it works out that we both stay together, keep the house. Never romantic. We're not romantic on that, of course. But why not just be cordial, get along, let her do her healing, and then just keep the house. Works for me. And I'm not, and I told her a while back, I said, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to call the lawyer myself and do my own divorce on myself. I'm not going to willingly sign the house without needing to away. I'm not going to, in other words, if she wants to do this, she has to do it. You know, I'm not going to help her. In fact, I have a lawyer on my side. If anything really happens that way, I have got a lawyer I'll call for me. But I think it's all right. I think it's going to be cool. I think she's going to, and I'm doing better monetarily now. I'm getting better with my money because I'm getting more money on YouTube. And I think we can keep the house. We can do this. It's doable. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.